Checkity check. Before you wreckity wreck. Is that better? Do you like that?
Yeah.
You like them
really loud
apples?
in my ears.
Do you like when I say my apples? Do you like when I turn on the tapples?
What's happening?
Do you like when... I don't know. I was doing an audio test.
There was just enough of your like little shoulder wiggle, the Shaq wiggle. Do you like when it?
The Shaq wiggle, dude. Everyone knows that one. Icy hot. And then you like
Okay,
the-
did you know Shaq makes gummies?
No, but I won't eat them.
They're Shaquille O'Neal's like head, and they're huge.
What's the point?
I mean, why not?
Are
right?
they big?
Like,
Are they giant?
they are like a large gummy. Let me tell you, the texture is very similar to like the Jolly Rancher gummies.
Okay, sure.
The flavors are awful.
That doesn't make any sense.
It tastes like Shaquille O'Neal's sweat.
Ew.
It's like the old. It's like the old Gatorade commercials when they would like sweat
Ew.
sweat
Gross.
color.
Gross.
Like sweat and orange.
Gross.
That's how they get the flavors for the Shaq gummies.
Oh, God. I'm definitely not
Fucking
trying it
gross.
now. Guys, welcome to the Real Awkward Podcast. This is the best damn podcast you heard today. My name is Andy,
I'm Amanda.
I'm Ashley.
and we are in the spooky season where
All year,
we talk
baby.
about Shaquille O'Neal's gummies.
Shaquille gummies.
Well, that's because I'm going to be Shaquille O'Neal for Halloween this year.
Oh my God!
are
Please
you?
do it. Please
All
do
right,
it.
cool.
Please do
I'm
it.
allowed
Yeah,
to.
I don't. No, you're not allowed to do that. You would instantly be canceled. There's no way. And you
love
have to
it.
be
I'm
on
going to be
stilts.
Shaquille Oatmeal. Have you seen that?
Shaquille Oatmeal?
No.
There's like a T-shirt and it's like Shaquille O'Neal's the Quaker Oats man,
Oh,
and it
God.
says Shaquille Oatmeal.
I love it. The shirt I want right now
I'd wear it.
is it's got a goose on it and it says, "What if I want to be a serious goose?" And I don't know why. I'm like, I need it.
I love
That
it.
one's funny.
There's
too.
other shirt I bought recently that says, "Trust me, I'm hilarious." And I'm like,
That's
I
a
need the
good
shirt
one.
in every color.
I feel like you would say that.
Yeah.
Amanda,
Yes.
for anyone who is waiting for us to have content that they want to listen to, what are we talking about today?
Wow. First of all, I feel attacked. Second of all, this is your show too, bitch. So here's the deal. We're getting into Halloween,
So
right?
aggressive.
It's the most wonderful time of the year because it's Halloween, then it's Diet Christmas, and then it's Christmas, right? We're about to be in the crazy season. So to start it off, with Halloween coming up, things are getting spooky, have movie nights at home. We kind of thought we would talk about just like in general, what are some movies that we're making sure are on our list for this season? Maybe we've seen some. Maybe there are like tried and true favorites. I have some TV shows that I always like to watch to
Did you
get in
say
the spooky
favorites?
Yeah.
vibe. Well, you know what? I wasn't going to talk about it. I was going to
You gotta
just
call it
blaze
out,
past
I'm
it.
really excited about these tried and true favorites, though.
You know what, furniture man? You don't get to talk to me about my favorite.
Did I tell you at work that they caught on that I say both with an L?
It took them a year.
It's so great. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. What was your favorite?
Okay,
movies?
so we're going to talk about just a little bit of everything, right?
Yes.
I told you guys, Chris and I actually watched a horror movie today. I was trying to choose between two that I actually haven't seen yet. So the one that we decided on was Abigail.
Oh, I've been wanting to see that.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay, good. It's I'm writing it down.
This
on
is
my
the
list.
this is the Conjuring spinoff, right?
No, that's Annabelle.
Oh, what's
Abigail.
It's, this
It's
little
a
girl.
little-
It's on. What is it
What?
on?
Peacock.
Peacock.
Okay.
I'll give you my login.
Oh, we have it.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't you worry.
So it's about, and I'm not spoiling anything because it was literally
Okay.
in the trailer. It's about these people and they're like robbers or whatever. And they basically get trapped in a house with this little girl who they think they're holding for ransom, but she's a vampire.
Oh, okay.
Fabulous.
Okay.
Fabulous.
And it was good.
Okay, yeah. Did you guys liked Violent Night, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay,
Fantastic.
it to me was like Halloween Violent Night.
Wait,
like,
so it has like some dark comedy in it?
Fully.
Oh, I love movies like
I'm
that.
excited.
In fact, when
It
I was doing
wasn't-
my list, a lot of my favorites are that style of movie.
Yeah. It's not as humorous as Violent Night.
Sure.
But it's very like dark humor. Did you see like Ready or Not?
No.
That one's another fabulous one. Kind of similar. So Abigail, it's like I love movies where like it's pretty much one set piece. They're pretty
Sure.
much in the same house the whole time, like Violent Night, right?
Yeah. Right.
I loved it. I figured it would be just like a fun ride, and that's exactly what it was. It's bloody, it's like interesting.
That's
and
awesome. Okay.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I would, actually.
For some reason, this one went past my radar. Why? Is it like clearly being marketed on Peacock right now?
Yeah, it's on my list on Peacock.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
like a girl in like a dress, like sitting on the floor.
She's
Yeah.
a ballerina.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she's
Okay.
like looking up like
yeah.
towards
Okay.
the camera. I don't know if you would recognize the thumbnail, but
Oh, I should go check it out.
yeah.
But I've
No.
heard I've heard about that film, but I don't remember it being marketed.
I don't know. I feel like it came out when something else popular did.
Was it
Like-
released like recently?
No.
Within like the last couple months? It's been out for a while.
I
It's only
want
been on
to
Peacock for a couple months.
Okay.
I'd say it's been on Peacock for like 3 or 4 months.
All right. I just don't. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
But no, absolutely recommend. Fantastic.
Okay. Cool.
The other one I wanted to see, I don't know if either of you have seen this one. The other movie I was trying to decide between was Lisa Frankenstein.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's directed by Zelda Williams, Robin Williams' daughter.
Okay.
And I don't know. I was kind of interested in it at first. I feel like I turned it on for a minute or two, but I feel like it's a little off.
Like
Okay.
Woody Allen?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. Like I don't know. Not fully.
Like
not fully.
Like a little Wes Anderson or
not that far. Not
okay,
that far.
okay.
To me, it kind of looks like the same vibe as like Warm Bodies, where it's kind of funny, kind of cute, kind of quirky.
I see what you mean. No, that's kind
of what I
way.
expected too, but I feel like the vibe's a little bit different. Maybe a little bit more
Okay.
indie.
Okay.
But I don't know. That's just what I got from it. I haven't seen the whole thing, but
Okay. Is it exactly what you think? It's like Lisa Frank style.
No.
Like, oh, okay. Okay, because I just imagine Frankenstein with like colors
with
and
like puppies. and,
tigers on it. It's like pink tigers. It's
he's
like
on a
I'm
surfboard.
Frankenstein, and just like
Honestly, I'd watch that too.
yeah. I'm half velvet, half skin. Color
love
on
it.
me
Love it.
or whatever.
Wow, you took that way too far.
So you're saying that's not what I should expect for that one?
I think it's more so that it's a female Frankenstein.
Got it. Okay, much better, more clear, more clear now. That is clear.
I see now.
Okay.
what-
Cool.
What do you guys have like on your like list that you haven't seen yet that you want to make sure that you watch this season?
Okay, one that I haven't seen. Oh, give me a uno momento, por favor. It is the one that I actually feel really bad that I have not seen this movie before is Lost Boys.
Oh, okay.
I have never seen Lost Boys. I understand that it is now a cult classic. I know like famous people like Corey Feldman.
Corys.
Both Corys are in it. It's like a town that like has been taken over by vampire boys almost or something like that.
Young adult teenage vampires, and they're
Right.
edgy
And they're edgy.
with their earrings.
But I mean, I don't know if it necessarily, because when I think of Halloween movies, I don't like think of Twilight. You know what I mean? Like that's not
Yeah.
It's not
my
a Halloween
go-to.
movie.
But I feel like Lost Boys kind of fits in that category too. Is like that
Yeah.
type of like teenage drama, but then add vampires to it.
Isn't that funny that Dracula can be Halloween, but Edward cannot?
Yeah, right. Because he sparkles. That's why. If you sparkle, you're instantly not Halloween. So I'm just gonna say that I literally, out of my entire list, I feel bad that I've never seen that movie. It was like 87 or something like that when it came out. It's been around for a long time, and it's Kiefer Sutherland.
Yes.
Yes. So I don't know anything about the story. I don't know if it gets grotesque or if it's a lot more like drama ridden with some bites here and there. But I'm interested to finally give that one a watch. That's my one that I felt bad about.
Okay. What about you, Ash?
Yes.
Okay, here's the one I feel bad about. I'm not sure if I've seen it or not. But number 1 on my list was Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
I'm just not sure. Like
The fava
when
beans?
we were going over like misquoted movies, and that was one of them, it occurred to me, I'm like, I'm not so sure that I even know the context of.
Do you know if you've seen Red Dragon
No.
or Hannibal?
I don't know.
So I will tell you this, okay?
I don't know if I've just seen so many references that
I've
I
seen
thought I saw it, but now I'm like questioning it.
I've seen Silence of the Lambs enough to know that, like, even though Hannibal is considered a villain / horror character, the movie is actually really quite boring. Like, it's a lot of cell talk. It's a lot of Jodie Foster's character trying to put pieces together. It's a lot more crime drama with tastes of Hannibal being crazy and kooky and whatever.
Ashley, with Silence of the Lambs is in a vibe, I hate that word, closer to like The Bone Collector than Hostel, if that makes sense. Like,
it's not
more
torture porn. Yes, for
it's
sure.
It's more like
yes,
thriller, investigative with like some horror elements.
Yeah.
But it's more like disturbing horror. There is some gore. There's absolutely some gore.
Yeah.
But
he's more like off-putting and like,
You should be off-putting.
I knew you were gonna. Damn it.
I mean, no, you definitely watch
I thought she
Hannibal
was
Lecter.
gonna say no. You definitely need to be off-putting.
Yeah, you definitely need to watch yourself. No,
Do you know how much pudding is in our pantry right now?
do you have pudding in your pantry right now?
Andy,
lot of it.
Andy, what reality show would you be on? The Biggest Loser. Okay.
Okay, so
yes.
absolutely Silence of the Lambs. It's so good. But yeah, it's more of like a thriller, which fantastic. Absolutely. I know you probably wouldn't watch it in front of the kids, but very much not for children.
It is not.
Abigail
That is true.
is PG-13, so like, yeah, it's a little gory, but like,
Okay.
but because it talks a lot about like taking skin off people's bodies and what they do with
that's
the
not
skin. And
I do that all the time.
and then you'll understand why I have a shirt that says Buffalo Bills Lotion Company.
Dude, yeah,
so-
yeah.
I post the lotion
See, I need to know the references.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yes, that's fair.
That movie's fantastic. I love Silence of the Lambs. I will say Hannibal's worth watching. In my opinion, some of the other ones are like, meh. But Silence of the Lambs is fantastic.
No, it's a good movie. It's just not like when you think of like horror or slasher or spectral or ghosts or demonic. Like, it's none of those things. It's very
It's
much
a cannibal serial killer movie.
I didn't assume
that doesn't
it
count.
was.
Yeah. No, sure. I get. Well, okay. Yeah.
But it's
I
not like a
guess.
monster movie.
It feels more like a crime.
It
movie.
is.
Yes. Yes.
Great.
Okay,
Sounds
anyway,
good.
I don't know why. I guess I'm just clearly identifying that in the realm of horror, though he is considered one of the villains of horror franchises, the entire movie it's not like he's running around killing everybody the entire time. Like, does that make sense?
Not the
I'm
entire
aware
time.
of that.
Not sure. Spoiler alert. No, I'm just kidding.
What Andy means to say is your ideas are shit. No, I'm just playing.
Doesn't count.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
I know you guys have seen this because I think I've made you watch it, but I would be remiss if I did not talk about my favorite Halloween movie of all time, Trick or Treat.
Oh God, Little Sam.
I knew it would be on your list.
Little Sam, dude. That kid's
That's right.
creepy, bro. I just like the short story aspect that they do in that film.
Love it.
Yeah.
And
they're
they all
cool.
so easily do this like intertwining thing
Mhm.
they very much like have these crossover moments, but the individual stories are still very much their own stories.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
Now, I haven't seen any spinoffs or sequels, and they've done a couple, haven't they?
no, so
Oh.
there is a comic book called All Hallows Eve that like
Okay.
gives you more.
Yeah.
But there's been talk of a sequel for a very long time. Who knows if it'll actually happen? I would love for it to happen, but I think if they were going to do it, it should have been a couple years ago. I do like that Sam has now become like a icon.
Yeah, it is
For
like a
Halloween.
Halloween mascot. Yeah.
Because he is supposed to be like the spirit of Halloween.
Right.
But that Trick or Treat has such a cool way of like some parts of the movie are funny and some parts of the movie are really disturbing, like
Yeah.
what humans do to each other, and then some parts of the movie are downright like scary. Like,
Yeah, I agree with that. I remember enjoying the film. Like, Ash, do you remember when we watched it? It was a long time ago.
I don't remember anything about it.
Really?
then you got to rewatch. Then you got to watch it.
Yeah, you got to put that on the list of
I remember us
Halloween.
watching it. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I don't think we
anything.
actually own it, though. I don't think I own Trick or Treat.
We might not.
I don't think so. Better check
Yeah,
the letterbox.
So it's a Trick or Treat number 2 is supposed to be like ongoing. You know, it's taking.
Oh, like
they're
in
making
the works.
it.
Okay.
But who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I freaking love that movie, dude. It's so good. And it's for a really long time because like at Blockbuster we had like one copy of it.
Yeah.
But so I ended up buying my own copy, and it was the movie that I would bring with me to everyone's house and be like, "We have to watch this movie." Like,
Yes.
no, it's fabulous.
There's a couple movies like that, I think, that hit during Halloween. Now, I will say, okay, before I go on a tangent about the next movie I'm going to talk about, I don't have stuff on my list like Halloween Town or like what's another good like Halloween movie that everybody watches all the time?
Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus. I don't have that stuff on here. Mine is a lot more like fear-driven, scary.
Well, then fuck my list, right?
No. Your list is fine. I just know I enjoy a lot more either like the horror mixed with the black comedy, or I enjoy the like the mind benders, like the ones that
Sure.
have like a cool twist or like a psychological like thriller. You know, I've talked about these stuff before, but I'm gonna get this one out of the way, Amanda, because it's one of your and I's favorites of all time. 13 Ghosts. Like,
Oh, I love 13 Ghosts. It's so
it-
good.
it's so good. Every season, at some point, I love it. Like, I might catch like half of it. I might watch the whole thing, but
Does that have Tony Shalhoub in it?
it's Tony Shalhoub, dude,
Yes, it
and
does.
he literally is gifted this incredible.
And Matthew Lillard.
Yes, Matthew Lillard. He's gifted this incredible house from his uncle because his uncle has passed away. And this house is literally made of like pure see-through glass. Like the entire house is. He has
It's
two
glass,
kids.
but it's see-through.
Yeah, but it's see-through glass. He has 2 kids. And anyway, they get to this house. They don't have a whole lot of money. Their mother has just passed away. It's kind of sad. And so you have like a little bit of reason to care about the characters. But the beginning freaking scene of that movie is a ghost called the Juggernaut in this like junkyard. And these like ghosts, this like Secret Service style Ghostbuster team is capturing these ghosts. And what happens is the grandfather was a ghost catcher that you find out later in the movie what for, but he's trying to catch this Juggernaut, and this Juggernaut kills him. So then Tony Shalhoub's I think it's his grandfather, isn't it supposed to be his grandfather or his uncle or something
I don't
like
remember.
that?
I thought it
Anyway,
was his dad.
yeah, or his dad. Anyway, he dies, and then he's gifted this property, and later you start to find out that he was catching multiple ghosts, 13 to be in fact, and to be correct, to matter of fact. Anyway, all of these ghosts, they're so freaking cool that you want a backstory on every single one of them. Like
The
you
character
want,
design is fantastic.
oh my God, dude, you want like a spin-off movie on every single ghost. Find out like why that happened to them, like detailed, like there's cool ghosts. Like there's the homecoming queen and her boyfriend or something like that, right?
You know their names, and I don't ever remember their names, but there's the one with like the cage on their head.
Yeah,
and there's
that's
like,
the jackal. Yeah.
My favorite is I think she's the beauty queen,
She's the
naked
beauty
lady.
queen. Yeah, she has like slits all over her body.
She's so
Yeah.
freaky.
She is freaky. Yeah.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I love it.
I always forget this actress's name. She was in American Pie. Shannon something.
Shannon Elizabeth.
There you go.
I wanna
Shannon
say.
Elizabeth. She's the daughter in it. And there's many times that she's chased down by these ghosts for the most part. Or the son is. And oh, dude, these ghosts are so cool. One of them's like a boy that was playing with his bow and arrow and like caught himself in the head. One of them is like the son and the dire mother. And it's like this giant, like 800-pound dude that can't move, but he's like dead like a baby and his mother's feeding him and he's just like vomiting like down himself. Like all of these ghosts,
So
they just
fucked.
have so much cool costume designs. The practical effects of that movie are so good. And then the story at the end of it actually gets really good. Like it comes back around. It matters why Tony Shalhoub is involved and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, for anybody that has never seen 13 Ghosts, it's always on my list. It's one that I highly recommend. That's what I have to say about that. Amanda, you got anything to say about 13 Ghosts other than that?
Honestly, I love it. It's fantastic. Another movie that for me, like when I think about movies because I kind of watch like spooky stuff all year. So when I think about movies I'm watching during the Halloween season, I do think about stuff that like makes me in the Halloween like mood, like trick-or-treating mood. So
Yeah.
like stuff like Hocus Pocus and Halloween Town are always playing, right?
Sure.
But when like Lincoln's gone to bed and I'm watching something scary by myself, stuff like 13 Ghosts is always what I have on, right?
It's so good.
Another movie that came out right at the same time, I feel, and I have talked about it at length, so I'll save it, is Ghost Ship,
Ghost
the
Ship,
international
yes.
classic.
Ghost Ship 2, yes.
It's a
One of the-
cinematic masterpiece.
One of the coolest intro scenes ever to any film, too.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It's epic.
Honestly, Ghost Ship is another one that like the effects of like the dead people are great. It has the right amount of tension without being like over the top or too scary.
Yeah.
The death scenes are really cool. And then like you have the idea of like this ship lost at sea that was found, and now people want to find out why.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool idea. So I love Ghost Ship, and I always like link those two together.
I kind of feel like you could put them, like they have that same feel. I don't know if they came out at the same time. I want to say 13 Ghosts was in like 2003-ish. What's cool about and I want to say that Ghost Ship was around there, maybe 2004. Anyway, what they did though is they hit before the torture porn horror started, because right after that was Saws and Hostels and frickin'
Cabin Fever.
yeah, right. Everything that was all like pure torture and gore, and then
It
that's
was
kind of where
it was
they
like
went.
the Eli
Yeah.
Roth era.
Yeah, and before that though, you had some of these gyms like the ones that we're describing that don't fit in that same box. They're not like a thriller like Scream, and they're not like that torture,
No,
horror
they're
stuff.
not a slasher per se, and
Right,
they're not a
right.
torture porn. They're like ghost stories. They're
Yes,
ghost
very
movies.
very much, which I thought was really cool and unique.
There's also like the House on Haunted Hill remake that's also very good. And then honestly, one movie that kind of like hits those same kind of vibes is Scary Movie 2. That one I always like to watch around Halloween.
The comedy.
It's my strong hand.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that
but-
one's a classic for those reasons.
But it's
yes.
got Tim Curry in it. It's got David Cross. Chris Elliott as the caretaker guy is hilarious. But it's about like a ghost house.
Right.
Yeah. It's
no,
so
I think
stupid.
you're right. I think that it had a lot of nods to so many like fun things back then that it became its own cult classic.
Yes.
Yes, I agree with that. Sorry to take up so much time there. I got really excited. I need 13 Ghosts out of the way because I knew I was going to talk about it for too long. What do you got, Ash?
I saw I saw Ghost Ship on our shelf today, and I was like, I should probably put that on my list because Amanda's talked about it for forever.
Yes, she
and
has.
I've never seen it,
Yes, she
so
has.
I should probably watch that one.
It's corny, but it's good.
Yes.
I also saw on the shelf The Orphanage.
Oh my
Every
God.
year, I'm like, I need to watch this again. I need to watch this
Yes.
again. It's so good.
Yes. Is that the La Lorna one or is that different?
No, The Orphanage is Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
But it's this woman and her husband buy this old orphanage that I think she used to go to or something.
Yeah.
And her son goes missing.
Oh, okay.
And again,
is that the one that's
it's a
Spanish?
ghost story.
Is it Spanish?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That movie's
Yes.
fantastic. It's beautiful. Ashley, that's such a good one.
Honestly, there's something about it being in a foreign language, and I know Andy, you have some other favorites that are in foreign language too, but like it like wraps you in so much differently than an English speaking film.
Is it because you're paying attention to the subtitles?
You're paying attention to it so closely, and like the silence in that movie while you're paying attention to the subtitles or whatever, like I don't know, like that feeling is.
I found that same feeling in Pan's Labyrinth, right?
Yes.
Because it was foreign.
I love that.
Well,
that.
Yeah.
I think The Orphanage is so effective because it is so quiet. I think that
Yeah.
that's a huge part of it. Really, if you look at the amount of dialogue in that movie, there's really not that much.
Sure.
There
there
are
are
huge-
scares and
There are huge parts of that movie that nobody's really talking. And so that's one that I tell people to watch a lot that are like, I don't like subtitles. And I'm like, watch that movie because there's not so much talking that you're having a hard time keeping up.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's so good. That movie's so good.
That's actually a really good choice. I think that's one that I often forget about, and then you remember, you're like, oh wait, that is on the list of like awesome films. Yeah. What you got, Amanda?
Well, another one that I watch all these all year, but there's certain ones that I'm like, I'm going to watch them again during Halloween time. And another one of those for me always is Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I have seen it all the way through.
You got to watch it.
Yeah, see, I remember some of the visuals.
Yes.
Is Johnny Depp? Is it Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah. But I remember like the whole Ichabod. I know the story very well. For some reason, I don't know if it was a cartoon I used to watch over and over as a kid.
There's a Disney movie.
Oh, maybe that's what I used to watch over and over as a kid. But I know when the new one came out, I thought that like the effects were kind of cool, like of the Headless Horseman and stuff.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
The Headless Horseman effects are great.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's Tim Burton when he was still really killing it.
Sure.
The visuals are amazing. They're very striking, like costume design and imagery, and like it's a very like cool toned color palette for the whole movie. But then they'll have like these really like vibrant hits of like red or green or like a color, and like the red blood almost looks like cherry syrup. It's so bright compared to everything else, but it's a stylistic choice. It's so kind of so off the wall that I love it. Christina Ricci's in it. Christopher Walken's in it. It's amazing. So if you guys haven't fully watched it, you absolutely have to. I love that one.
Christina Ricci. That's right. I forgot she was in that one. Dude, Christopher Walken has like, he's like an eerie person in general. Like you put him in any role and he's just instantly like the creepy guy.
If it makes it any better, I don't know if he talks at all in it.
What's his character?
He's the horseman.
Maybe that's why he doesn't talk. What else you got, Ash,
So
on
good.
there?
On my list, I put Crimson Peak on my list.
Wait,
Not-
as one that you want to rewatch?
I need to rewatch it.
You need to.
But wait,
Does it hold? It's better.
Yeah.
See, and that's
Okay.
the thing. Like, I have not seen it since the theater. I know we've talked about it on other episodes, but like, every time I see it, I'm like, I want to like this so much.
Is it the sad hand job thing that like ruined it for us all? Is that what it was?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, not to be crass, but literally, like, I remember some of those corny things being too much, and I was like, "Oh, come on! Stop! What is this crap?" Like, so that stuff took me out of it a little bit. Also, not to have a spoiler, but it's very much about incest, so it's like weird. Like it got weird.
Honestly, that one is, the story's predictable, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and then the ending's a little like, but I think that movie's worth watching because of just like the visuals It's
That's what I was
very
gonna
like
say. The visuals are beautiful.
beautiful.
That
It's
goes back to
intense.
Guillermo del Toro, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Apparently, I'm a fan.
I love it. I mean, there's definitely where you're just kind of like, okay, whatever.
Yeah,
But,
I remember feeling
yeah.
that way a couple times.
The tension in the movie is very good. Like the way it builds tension.
It's Tom Hiddleston and the girl that played Alice in Wonderland, right? Is the
Yeah.
main. Yeah, that I forget her. And then Eva Green. Isn't she the other? Isn't she the sister? Isn't it
I
Eva
don't
Green? Am I wrong?
remember.
For some reason,
Let's find out.
I don't remember. I don't know if I'm saying her name wrong, but for some reason I remember because she can play that like 1800, 1700 looking.
The sister
lady.
is Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain.
Oh, never mind. Okay. I'm sorry. I was wrong.
Speaking of Eva Green, though,
Yes.
Penny Dreadful.
Please, Andy, please,
Wait, is this the
Please.
one I'm supposed to watch?
please watch it.
Okay.
It is so good.
Different than Peaky Blinders.
Different
Like,
Peaky Blinders.
like different universe.
Just kidding. Okay, I've heard about it. Can someone give me the quick synopsis of this show?
Monsters.
Okay.
Timothy Dalton.
Okay.
Eva Green. Josh Hartnett.
Okay. And they're like what? Like a crew of monster fighters? What's going on? What's the deal?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, sure. Okay, so can I say to that I will do my best to catch. I know I won't be able to watch all of it, but I'll catch some
Listen,
episodes.
just know there's lots of boobies in it. Okay, just watch
Okay,
it.
I'm down.
You're like, oh well, then I'll watch it.
Can I also in saying that, not the boobies part, but what you described, Van Helsing, bro.
I love the movie.
The movie
With Hugh Jackman?
with Hugh Jackman, Van Helsing, the callback to all the monsters. Like
I fucking love that movie.
It's
so
so good.
stupid.
It's
I love it.
It's like an A movie that feels like a B movie. It's so interesting. The writing is piss poor, but also
so
wonderful at the same time.
Yes.
And but the character design stuff is cool. Like the siren bats or whatever they're called. I forget what the sisters are called, right?
The Dracula's sirens.
Yes.
They're fantastic. They are
They're
the coolest characters in the
They're
whole movie.
rad. And normally I'm not a huge fan of the whole like winged creature things because I feel like it's played a lot in a lot of things, but I remember their design being freaking rad.
Well, and I think it also works because their costumes were them in these like really flowy white robes with all this
Yeah.
hair, and they're like skin like almost like a caftan where like the body part was really skin tight, but then they
Yeah.
had these like really big like arms. So then when they transformed into these like white bats,
Right.
you're like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, this makes sense. Yeah, you're right. It was pretty seamless.
But no, honestly, Kate Beckinsale and this like fresh out of the bag, crunchy wig, and then Hugh Jackman with his like Hollywood press
Fresh out
waves
of the bag,
with
crunchy wig, dude.
with like, but you have Hugh Jackman with
Yes.
wavy hair to his
Yes.
shoulders, but then at the same time, like an alligator skin cowboy hat.
Oh,
You're
bro.
like,
The
what
costume
is-
design is crazy.
what
But
in the Crocodile Dundee is happening?
some of my
It's
favorite
amazing.
stuff though is like the Jekyll and Hyde character that he talks to. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They just did a fun job, and it really calls back to like monsters in general. So
Yes.
as a Halloween movie, like that's when I would sit down and just be like guilty pleasure. Like I will
Honestly,
enjoy this now. Yeah.
That's one that like I have like a smaller list of like ones that I want to watch with Lincoln, and I think
Yeah.
he'd be fine with that.
I think so too. I agree with that.
No, dude, I love that movie. It's so stupid.
It's stupid.
But also on that same kind of token of like the classic monsters,
Mm-hmm.
if any like the original Universal monster movies, yes, they're dated.
Yeah.
And compared to like a movie now, they're a little slow.
Right.
But I love the original Universal monster movies.
Mm-hmm.
There's just such a different way of making movies back then.
Mm-hmm.
The way they did the playing with the lights and the camera to like do the transformations of Wolfman or
Sure.
just even like the Gillman from the Creature from Black Lagoon, like his costume,
Yeah.
like it's fantastic. especially if you're into like practical effects and movie making and stuff, those movies are awesome because they didn't have computer effects.
I was going to say you have to respect where they came from, which is a reason why I recommend people do watch them. I've seen all of them, but it has been a long time since I've sat through them all over again. So I imagine that the pacing would feel quite slow, but they're also not that bad for kids. It's like, I feel like because they're that slow, like there might be maybe the monster, what they look like scares them, but there's not like jump scares as much in those. Like it's a lot more like slower pace. But I agree with Amanda. I think as a nod, the classic movie Monsters has to be watched.
Also, another one that very similar time period, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein.
Okay.
It has all the original actors from the Universal Monster movies. So like Lon Chaney and all that stuff, but they're like, it's like a comedy and it works. It's not good because it's so corny. Like it's good because it's fun.
All right.
So that one's totally worth watching.
Well,
that's a deep cut.
If I'm going to watch a funny Frankenstein movie, it's got to be Young Frankenstein.
I mean, valid.
Like, I will watch it every year.
It
does not get old.
Do you have that on your list?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I was going to say, I just rewatched it randomly.
On VHS.
And did you watch it a little bit
Yes,
with me
I
too?
Did.
And it was so wonderful to watch on
it's
VHS.
So good.
Like, it was just like, I'm watching this old movie, which is not really old, but it feels like it, right? Because they did it black and white. Well, and yes, it's old, but it's not. They
make it look older.
They
than
made it on black and white. It feels like it's a 1920s, and it's not. But dude, Gene Wilder, the freaking, I forget the actor's name, but I researched it a while back, that plays Igor is so funny, dude. Like there's so many good moments in that film.
Terry Garr.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So I think
Peter Boyle.
Yeah. I think a lot of people might dismiss it when they see there's black and white, because some people like, I can't do that. And it's like, you have to understand, dude, this is like some of Mel Brooks' finest work. So I will agree with you on Young Frankenstein 100%. 100%.
What's another one from your list, Andy?
So I have I feel like I have to defend this movie all the time, but if you were going to culminate slasher movies, this movie did it the best with Freddy versus Jason, bro. Like this movie, I swear to God, I had never in a million years thought that I would think it would be cool for Freddy and Jason to fight, and Freddy Krueger has ninja moves. Like, it is so stupid in the way that they made it work, but at the same time, it's really smart. So the dialogue in this movie is god awful. It has Kelly Rowland in it from Destiny's Child.
Yikes.
She and her friend, best friend, is like this like ditzy blonde girl. Her boyfriend swore that he saw Freddy Krueger or Jason, and he's on like medication because he doesn't want to have to dream about it anymore. So all of these kids are on medication so that Freddy doesn't get them. And what happens is Jason is dead at the end of Jason Goes to Hell. And he's in the grave, and Freddy somehow is able to convince Jason that it's his mother. And she says, Jason, we're not done yet. It's ready to kill again. And his heart like grows back together, and he like pops out of it. And then Freddy is like controlling Jason. And the problem is in the movie, Jason starts killing too much, and Freddy gets mad because he's like, well, I need to kill too, or otherwise the source of my power is gone, because people have to be afraid of me. And so he basically resurrects Jason, gets mad at him that he won't stop killing, and then tries to stop him himself. And then they start fighting. And there's this like really unique piece to the storyline that Jason is afraid of water and Freddy is afraid of fire. And they utilize that, but instead of doing it like very like nuanced, the girl wakes up from a dream and she goes, Freddy's afraid of fire. Jason's afraid of water. How can we use that? Like she's just like, it's so bad, dude. The kids basically end up teaming up with Jason, and They abduct him, they like horse tranquilize him, and then bring him out to an area that he can fight Freddy in the end. And then there's this like epic fight scene with them, and it's fucking incredible. I've just gushed way too long about this movie, but I love it. I love it. I don't know if you guys have seen it before, but you have to see it. You have to see it.
I know I've seen it, but it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
like easily.
Right.
So I'll have to rewatch it.
It's just, oh my God, dude. I mean, I love those slasher films, so I thought it was a really cool way for them to put everything together. I still even remember that the intro song is from the band El Nino. Like, I was so into this film, dude. I listened to the soundtrack. I rewatched it over and over again, and it was so bad that it was good guilty pleasure. So
It's your ghost ship.
It's my ghost ship, baby. It's my ghost ship. Ash, did you
Okay,
ever watch
Ash,
that
what do you
with
got?
me? I don't
No,
remember.
sir.
Okay. Okay.
I put on my list 30 Days of Night.
Ooh,
That's a
Josh
good
Hartnett.
one.
I think it's one of my favorite vampire movies.
I would say it's arguably
It is eerie.
best.
Like, the whole concept to me is like, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is that actor? The main actor who is the king of the vampires, or the
Danny
leader
Houston.
of the yes, thank you. He's like he's Stryker in
Yes.
one of the X-Men movies.
Or X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yes, and what's great is Josh Hartnett's character turns into a vampire, but then is able to like suppress his own like superpower, or not superpower, his own urges to kill others, and then he like fights for the humans. And I remember that being freaking awesome, and it's all in the snow, so
Yeah.
all the like red that comes from like the killing or the blood or the vampires is very stark. The contrast
Yeah.
is super
Well, I mean,
cool.
and it's
Yeah.
like the city is so distant that like there's no light pollution.
Right.
Like, it's just
Yep.
Well, and
quiet and dark and
it's in the middle of nowhere. It's
Yep.
below
Yeah.
freezing.
Yeah.
So you can't even just head out on your own because you'll just die. Like, it's they do a good job of making this town feel very like closed off, but also like claustrophobic, because
absolutely.
basically the vampires just start taking over a building at a time, and it gets to a point where there's like one building left, and that's just all it is.
Yep.
The 30 Days of Night comic series are amazing. And I actually think I like the movie more than the comics,
Nice. That's awesome.
because the comics are amazing, but the movie just does such a good job of bringing it and making it real.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's great. I love that movie.
That's a really good choice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to you.
That's why
on
it's
that
on my
one.
list.
I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
Amanda, you got another one on your list?
Oh, I have a million. So, one that I love, especially this time of year because it's like yucky, creepy, crawly, is Slither.
Oh, you always talk about Slither. You
I
love
love Slither. It's like creature body horror. Like, so it's James Gunn back before he was, the superhero movie guy. And basically this town, this like alien thing crash lands in this like in the forest, and then Michael Rooker gets infected with it, and
I
then
remember that.
he basically he kind of like taught he's part like slug almost, these like big ass nasty red slugs, and they like start like going all over town, and it's like yucky, but it's really good, but it's also stupid. Like, it knows it's stupid.
Right.
And I love that one. It's gross. Like, there's a scene where there's like this woman and she's found in a barn, and she's like breeding all these slugs.
I think I remember
and
that scene.
She like
Yeah.
explodes. It was wild. But no, that movie's good.
Dude, Slither. Did they make a movie that was similar to that? Remember when like we worked at Blockbuster, Slither came out? I swear there was another one that was like a B movie that like was like a duplicate of it.
Slither is a B movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
well I swear there's like there was another one like called like Slaughter, and it's like
There's a movie called Splinter.
oh Splinter, maybe that
But,
was it, but it was different though, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, it was very different.
Yeah.
I mean, the idea of Slither is not revolutionary.
Sure.
It's Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I mean, that's what it is.
Right.
No, I love that one. It's so stupid. Another one that is like stupid funny is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Yes, and I feel like we've talked about that one. I don't know if we did on a different Halloween episode like previous
I don't know,
years,
dude.
but I feel like we talked about that one because it's
I could talk
fantastic.
at length about how much I love that fucking movie.
Well, because that
So
one falls in
stupid.
this. It falls in the same category as like Cabin in the Woods. Like those two, that
Yes.
style is both very, very like there's comedy in there. There's horror elements in there. Have you seen Ducker and Tail?
No.
Woo!
Because to be honest, after your dad saw it, he wouldn't shut up about
that's
it.
fair. My dad
And
ruined that
anything
for
that
you.
your dad is like gaga over, I'm like, it's got to be awful.
That's why you hate
I
sci-fi
get it.
so much.
Probably.
She's like,
Probably.
she's like, your dad got too excited about stuff. I couldn't handle it anymore.
No, I mean,
That's
Tucker
funny.
and Dale versus Evil is fun. It's it's essentially like these two bumbling idiots just having the shittiest day,
Yeah.
and they're too dumb to realize what's happening.
Yeah, they're like Mr. Bean, where they're like inner. Oh my God, what's it called? Inadvertently, like killing the creatures on accident, like with every move that they do.
Inadvertently and on accident.
It's
Wow.
intense. I'm really working the hard words today. Okay.
Yeah, you are.
I will say that we are almost wrapped up. You guys have a last one you want to shout out?
I will say I'm going to watch Haunted Mansion this year because the kids are going to want to watch it. I also need to watch the original. And also Cam was like, did you know there's a Muppets one? So I guess I have to watch that too. So those are obligatory.
Yep.
But the last one on my list that I have not seen that I need to because you guys told me I need to is Alien.
Now that's a good horror movie.
That's a good movie.
You just have to get over the sci-fi side of it because there's some sci-fi before you get to the scary stuff. So
For me, sci-fi horror is
Yeah.
a little bit more tolerable.
Okay. Like it's very
So-
much like crew in a spaceship, like and their daily lives for a while before.
Yeah,
the
but
horror
it's not.
starts, so.
But it's not warp speed, Mr. Sulu. Like it's not.
No, it's not Star Trek or Star Wars. No, not at all.
Okay, you really want to have a cinematic experience with that one? Turn all the lights off and watch it with headphones on.
Oh yeah, she talked about that. That's right.
It's freaky.
No.
But the creature, I don't know what it is. Like the creature itself is something no one had ever seen before. Everything was always humanoid, and this one's not, right? The xenomorph's character is so cool. It's like the bones outside of your body, and then like this long, creepy looking bullet bill head that has like another creature that comes out of its mouth. Like there's so much cool shit. But I will say what makes that movie really terrifying is the way that Sigourney Weaver plays off of the creature. Like her acting in that film is incredible. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you are terrified with her. So it is good. And I would love to watch it with you. It
Please do.
will scare the shit out of the kids. So
Yeah, they will not.
Fully.
that's a
You
no.
watching
That's a no-go.
I will put them on Muppets Haunted Mansion in the other room.
Yeah,
There you go.
I am going to leave you with Drag Me to Hell because
Good one.
that movie, dude, I really love Sam Raimi. So if you're an Evil Dead fan, this is going to scratch that itch. The character designs are very Sam Raimi, but the whole like the lady's just pissed off because I forget if they wouldn't give her money or they ran her over or knocked her down.
They wouldn't give her a loan.
They wouldn't give her
Yeah.
a loan. So she sets a curse on him. And the shit that happens to these two kids is
so messed
freaking
up.
incredible. Dude, the scene in the car where the lady's like licking all over her face. And like, there's just some really like gross stuff, but good jump scares, amazing like visual graphics. I will say, I wish there was more because the movie just ends where she like, spoiler alert, right? Where she gets dragged to hell. And I wish I could have seen more of that. Like it would have been awesome.
but it's better
So,
if it's left to your imagination.
it's cool.
Oh,
I mean,
love.
it's cool. Yeah.
I love
But
that. That's how it ends.
yeah. It's good. No, it's a very good
love
ending.
it.
I would have loved to see a sequel though, or something like that. But
It would have ruined it.
that's where I will
Yeah.
say for a rewatch, I will definitely
Absolutely.
that's one to rewatch. So
I think for me, like I'm trying to think like what that we haven't talked about already is like I want to make sure I watch it. And so right now
Get
we're
to
watching,
it, Amanda.
I'm watching a lot of stuff lately with Lincoln. So I'm like catering a lot of what I'm watching to like that he can watch it too. And so I think the one that I want to make sure that he watches is The Addams Family.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a fun Halloween one. I kind of put Addams Family though in the Hocus Pocus like realm, where it's Halloweeny and weird enough, but it's not too scary. It's not too gory. There's nothing like that. So I agree with you. Addams Family's a fun one. I remember we watched the animated one and Cammie really liked that.
Cammie really likes the Addams Family in general. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do. 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 The episode is done now. We've gave you all our choices. We had so much fun. Now listen to our voices.
Oh.
Oof.
He's not good at it. Oh, you can hear me.
And I could play it back during the edit. Awesome. I will say I have a bunch others on the list. So if our listeners want us to do another episode about either recommends or ones that we're excited for, we're totally down.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Amanda, if people are like, oh, no, your choice is ass, where do they say that? Where can they say that?
I don't respond to hate mail or threats. No. Come check out our Instagram at Lower Record Podcast. If there is a movie that we have never talked about that like you want us to talk about, let us know. Like we all like horror movies and stuff like that. So especially this time of year, if there's something that you want us to check out, definitely let us know about that. We also have a TikTok at the same at Raw Awkward Podcast. Also, patreon.com/Raw Awkward Podcast. $3 a month gets you exclusive episodes and some other stuff.
Ooh, that's a mouthful, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ash, thanks for your list.
Why just what?
Nothing. I was just being thankful.
You're welcome.
Being awkward.
Yep. Real awkward. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hello, Real Awkward listeners. The Real Awkward Podcast turns 3 this year. That's right, 3 years of fun, entertaining content for you guys, and we cannot do it without listeners like you. If you guys want to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Real Awkward Podcast. For $3 a month, that gets you access to exclusive shows, merchandise, and name shoutouts on the show. We also will take your suggestions for show topics. Thank you so much for 3 years, and we look forward to many more.